Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to do the tier list for the Overwatch 2 beta heroes. Who are the strongest? Who are the weakest? We're going to work this out in the video. However, what I'm going to do is a little bit different for this tier list. So I've already made a tier list, but I'm going to remake it. So you guys, if you want to just check this out now, just take a screenshot, pause the video, whatever. Yeah, but we're going to see if things actually change, because I think they might change, because some of this isn't super set in stone. And obviously, I'm going to give you guys the reasoning for all of the heroes being where they should be. So we're going to reset this. Let's do it. Okay, all right. What I would do, guys, is go and grab a drink. This is going to be a pretty beefy video, because we've got loads of stuff to go over here. Because I'm going to completely give you my, sort of reasoning where I'm placing these heroes. Now, remember, this is based off... well, I keep saying like 20 or 30 hours, probably even more of alpha gameplay. And it was based off very high-level alpha gameplay at certain points. A lot of really high-skilled players there. Sure, there were players from other, Overwatch skill levels. But you know when you queue into Overwatch League Pros, you're like, oh, God, it's going to be an experience. So I'm going to try and, I don't know, sort of give like a generalist overview. But if I do need to talk about heroes being maybe stronger or weaker at different ranks, then I think we'll start with Soju. So here's Soju, right? Now, you guys are probably thinking, oh my God, Soju is insane. You've maybe even watched the guide video that I put out on Soju. Look at all the moments in that video that, I'm deleting people and it's awesome, but that's because I'm landing my shots. But there's plenty of other times where I miss my shots and I look really silly. Now, this is the thing with Soju. At the higher tiers, I wouldn't say she's S tier, but I would say she's A tier. And the reason why I'm not going to say she's S tier is because you don't always get value with her ultimate. Now, you do if you can aim, but even the best players will miss, right? So compare this to Soldier 76 Tac Visor. You always get value with that if the enemy team doesn't have a diva. Now, if the enemy team has got Roadhog as their tank, you get free Tac Visors. If they've got Ball as their tank, you get free Tac Visors. See where I'm going with this? If they've got Sigma, maybe you can shield some of the Tac Visor. If they've got Reinhardt, again, maybe you can shield some. Winston, maybe he dives on top of you. I guess Wrecking Ball, Doomfist, etc. can jump on top of you. But still, Soldier gets value and he gets it very easily. Anyway, I think I'm going to put her at A+ tier. Simply because if you do land the railgun shots, remember you're doing, I think it's 130 or 140. No, I think it's 130 per body shot, fully charged railgun. 260 if you headshot someone with it. So it's just deleting most of the hero roster and doing massive damage to tanks. And if she uses her ultimate overclock, it just rapidly charges the railgun, but she still is heavily skill dependent. She's a really interesting one because Soju might be indicative of heroes coming to the game in the future where Blizzard are looking more at taking away an I win button from the ultimate and kind of making it something that enhances the hero's sort of kit in a way, but you still need to use it. You don't just press the button and you win the game. So I'm going to leave her there at A+. Now, I've been destroyed by pros who have just absolutely farmed everyone. And at that point, I'd be like, well, she's S tier. We literally cannot stop her. She's like Soldier 76 and Widowmaker have had this glorious baby, and it's just killing everyone. That's what she's like. But I'm just going to leave her at A+ for now. She is the new hotness, so she probably will get nerfed quite a bit. Hanzo, I'm just going to say is okay. Hanzo's got no changes in the alpha and in the beta. So, yeah, he's okay. He's just Hanzo. If anything, he's slightly better than he was on live because there's less barriers in his face now because, well, there's less tanks and also less barriers. And remember, Erisa's barrier has been removed. So Hanzo's okay. Junkrat falls into this sort of... I think Junkrat falls into this place as well. Flanking is very strong on the new Overwatch 2 maps. It's also pretty strong. Even on King's Row, it's decent. Junkrat on the side. We've seen Flankrat happen a lot in the past. Again, it's just more effective because there's less tanks. So... he's okay. Again, a bit of a situational kind of pick, but he's okay. You could probably run him quite often, to be honest. I mean, Riptide can still get killed, but yeah, I don't know. Junkrat's okay. Now, this is the first S tier hero, and this is Lucio. Now, this is straight up because Lucio's got movement, and movement is so powerful in this world. This entire Overwatch 2 game is built on increased movement. So DPS have got an innate, I think it's a 10% increase in their movement speed. Tanks like Reinhardt, who are really struggling right now, but if you pair him with a Lucio, he has a good time, because if Lucio speeds him into fight after fight after fight, Reinhardt gets into melee range, he actually does quite a lot of damage. Lucio as well, and this is the big thing, is very survivable on his own. Supports in Overwatch 2, it's very difficult to survive compared to Overwatch 1. You don't have the tank to peel for you. Maybe you're in a world where you had a diva, and the diva might peel for your back line back in Overwatch 1, and you've got your Reinhardt on the front line. That doesn't happen no more, because the diva, if you do have a diva, will be on the front line. It will be doing something else. It won't be protecting the backline, and that's going to leave you very vulnerable. If you're a support that can heal yourself and you're tanky as a support, as tanky as a support can be, I mean, look at Brig and look at Lucio, and you can kind of throw Moira into this if you class Fade as a tanky ability, like it's a get out of trouble ability, but they're heroes that can react to damage coming their way, whereas other supports like Zen just get absolutely annihilated. So Lucio, very, very strong right now, super strong. Mei. Yeah, I'm just going to leave Mei as the kind of an okay pick. Now, she doesn't freeze with a primary fire anymore, but she does slow you down. Her alternate fire is kind of surprising damage when it gets you. And I was annihilated by, I think it was a Boston Uprising pro. I can't remember his name, but absolutely annihilated me, and he was playing Mei. But it's a pro, so they're kind of like cheating, basically, especially when they're playing against the likes of me. Yeah, she's okay. I don't really know what more to say about Mei. I think she's just okay. Again, a situational pick potentially, but in this world where Doomfist is a tank and he comes steaming into your team, Mei can't stop him. Like, Mei can slow him down, but he can still use abilities and get away. Whereas in the past, Mei'd freeze him and you could kill him. So she loses a bit of power in that regard. So, yeah, maybe she's one that should have been moved to the tank category. Maybe that's something Blizzard might look at. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to Mercy. Now, Mercy, I think... Mercy is... she's not weak. She's okay. Okay, so I'm going to say Mercy is okay. And by the way, I don't know whether I touched on... Yeah, I did touch on the Soju skill level thing. But like, I put Soju here in the A+ category. But if you were maybe golden below, I'd say that maybe she's a bit weak just because you don't get the value off all of her railgun shots because you might be missing more than you hit. Mercy, though, and the reason why I'm going down this train of thought is Mercy is very mobile. So this is good. This means she can move around, and that's great. But what Mercy lacks is that, like, it's what Mercy's always... Well, you can say Res is the impact ability, but when people are being killed, Mercy can just sit there healing them and hope it keeps them alive. She doesn't have, like, an Ana nade. She doesn't have some way of, like, increasing healing. She's not Moira who can throw out the heal orb and then spray all over the target for more healing. She just isn't like that. But Mercy's got the mobility. Now, one thing I will say about Mercy is she's very good as a ping bot. Now, the ping system is new to Overwatch 2, and Mercy... If it's a good Mercy player, we'll have an overview of what's going on in the fight, and it can ping really well. And so in a way, she almost gains a buff through the ping system, because if you've got a Mercy that's pinging and it's really, it's really helpful to the team, that's awesome. She's got good mobility. Her ultimate's still the same, Valkyrie. She's okay. She's okay. Like, I'm just going to say she's okay. Moira is S tier. Now, the reason Moira is S tier is Moira can escape all of the damage coming her way. So if Moira is getting attacked by Genji, who, by the way, is also S tier as well, or a Tracer, who's also S tier, then the Moira, okay, she can easily damage them and heal herself back, but she can still be killed by them. But what she can do is pop Fade and get out of these dangerous situations. Fade back to her team. There's all kinds of things she can do. If they're going to try and ult them, again, Moira can fade away from the ult, you would imagine, and maybe survive a little bit longer or get away, especially against like a Dragon Blade or something. That's simply why Moira is an S tier pick, and it's the same reason why Lucio's S tier, because they're very hard to kill, and that makes them have more value, basically. Also, if flankers are really hitting you hard, the 1v1 element there, you would expect the DPS to win. So if the support can take control of that fight and win more often than not, then that's going to help your team win more games. And so Moira is much easier to do that with than, say, Ana. Although Ana is more enjoyable, I'd say, because it's really cool when you land that clutch nade or that clutch sleep. But still, Moira can just do this every single engagement over and over again. And remember, Moira's healing has been increased in the alpha, and I believe also her fade cooldown time was reduced as well. Right then, let's go. Right, so you're probably going to be looking at this like, are you mad, Sty? What is going on there with Erisa? Now, I'm not sure when I've uploaded this video, so you guys may have seen my Erisa video, but you've probably already seen new Erisa gameplay footage by now. Erisa is she is like a fast-moving Reinhardt on steroids without a barrier, with a ranged skill shot, with massive damage at close range, with an ability she can pop, which is Fortify, which just protects her from tons of damage and makes her super survivable. In Overwatch 2, it gives her more health, but it still makes her immune to stuns and everything and interrupts and all that stuff. And her ultimate is surprisingly quite good, especially if you ambush people with it, because it sucks them in, and then she slams a spear down and it does damage to them. And she also uses Fortify when she does that. And her spear spin is like a diva defense matrix. So when you add this up into a tank in Overwatch 2, yes, you don't have a barrier, but as a front line, there is no better tank in this game right now. If you put Erisa against the Reinhardt, Erisa is absolutely going to win. Super easy because Erisa can, well, she can spear spin fire strike. Okay, Reinhardt's got 2, but she can delete one of them. She can spear spin into him, which will knock him back. She can just shoot him, which is obviously going to do a ton of damage to him. She can throw spears at him, which interrupt him. So if he tries to charge Erisa, she can just throw a spear into him. But wait, she's probably got Fortify as well. So if Reinhardt's going to charge you, you can either spear him to interrupt him, which will cause him to fall down on the ground, or just pop Fortify, let him bounce off you and carry on firing at him. You've got loads of ways of dealing with him. So you are super good. But it's not just Reinhardt. It's dealing with the other tanks as well. The sort of tank meta in Overwatch 2, it's very rock, paper, scissory. So you've got your tank against their tank. And if you've got an Erisa against the Rein, you almost default win that because Erisa wins every single fight, apart from when Reinhardt gets Earth Shatter. Obviously, you can't stop that with Erisa. Unless, I guess, you completely body block it, but you can't. It's just going to go through your team. So in that sense, Erisa's strong. Erisa against the Roadhog. Erisa's got ways of playing around the Roadhog. I think I like to look at this in terms of bullying opportunities to take advantage of the other tank. And Erisa's got so much in her kit. She's like Sigma, right? So Sigma can suck, Sigma can shield, Sigma can do damage. Reinhardt, and I always say this, he either just shields or he does damage, and it's so difficult to balance that. So she's just S tier. Like, she's very strong against every other tank. You're basically playing Erisa into Erisa a lot of the time. She's so good. All right, let's move on to Pharah. You know what? I think Pharah needs help. I really think Pharah needs help. I will say I had an okay couple of games with Pharah in the alpha. The problem is the enemy team were not playing Soju. Now, I suppose you could say, well, if they don't have a Soju or a hit scan player, then sure, Pharah's going to be strong. Why is she not in the okay category? And in fact, you could argue that maybe she should be here anyway because there's less tanks, right? Or maybe, no, I'm going to put her in the bit weak simply because of that reason. So if there's Soju on the enemy team, you're dead because she'll just kill you with a railgun. It's so easy to kill Pharah. Soldier, obviously, Cassidy, any hit scan is just going to do tons of damage. Widow, whatever. They can just take you out. There's a hard counter. Echo is always the elephant in the room with Pharah because you may as well just play Echo. It's a better Pharah. More maneuverable, more damage, all of that stuff. But the thing here is, though, without the double tanks, without the off-tank threat of a diva shutting down the Pharah can still kind of get stuff done. This kind of, like, it does remind me of a diva game I had where I was playing diva like I was playing diva from Overwatch 1, and I was just shutting down the Pharah over and over again, and it still was effective. So maybe if there is a diva, then Pharah's going to really struggle. But if Pharah was playing into a Roadhog and the enemy team had like a Genji and a Tracer as their damage, Pharah might be quite effective there. I don't know. But I still think she needs something. She needs a bit of help, Pharah. Right, Reaper's S tier. Now, do I put him A tier? So there was a pro meta, which this is slightly changed now. But during the alpha, the pro meta was Zarya, Reaper, Moira, Lucio, and Soju, I think. Although Soju sometimes was changed out for other heroes. But the whole point of this was you use speed boost to get Reaper in there to kill everyone. Reaper, I think his spread has been reduced on his shotgun, so he does more damage if you land the shots. I mean, Reaper's always been good if you can get Reaper in there. And comps built around just getting Reaper into the fight are very effective. Because, again, Reaper's anti-tank. And with the tanks being so strong in Overwatch 2, the Reaper can almost not duel the tanks because they really are strong. But with him firing, like if you got your Reaper going into the enemy's Erisa, but also your Roadhog is going on the Erisa, she's going to die pretty quick. So it can be strong in that way. And also Reaper can just flank. So even if he's not in a comp with Lucio or looking to speed boost him into the team, he can just flank with his abilities and get into the backline and just kill people dead quick. And also, he's got self-heal. Yeah, I'm going to leave him at A+. He's pretty good, Reaper. But he is kind of comp dependent. The next up is Reinhardt. And can you guys see? Yeah, oh God, I just had a heart attack. I was like, I've literally been blocking the bottom of the screen. I know I can see I'm blocking the roster, but it's fine. Anyway, I need a drink. Oh my God. Okay, so we're getting there. And what we got next is, Reinhardt. So Reinhardt is suffering from being an old hero in a new game. He was okay with Overwatch 1, and he worked in certain comps, and that was fine, and on certain maps. But now, in a game that's built around mobility, and a game that's built around, you start looking at heroes like Soju. Like, Soju charges up a railgun off all damage. So if she's firing into your barrier, you're just giving her free railgun charge. Like, you're basically saying, okay, Soju, have a free ultra charged railgun shot all the time. And it's like, it's not great. He's slow, which is the other problem. He's got 2 fire strikes, which there's a lot of abilities out there that can delete them. Sigma suck, Genji deflect, Erisa spear spin, Diva defense matrix, or even you just hide behind a bit of terrain because there's more stuff out in the world now because of the way the maps have been designed. Charge is kind of, you can control it more now and you can cancel it, but you're so vulnerable when you do it. You basically just get Erisa throwing a spear at you every time she sees you charge, and then you look silly. The only good thing about Reinhardt is his Earth Shatter and his melee damage. Now, Earth Shatter is free, unless the enemy team have got a Reinhardt, but I don't think I ever seen a Rein versus Rein match in the entire alpha. So I think that probably sums it up. Okay, people were probably playing the new hotness, but Rein, yeah, he suffers. He just, like, if you can get him into melee range, it's great. If Lucio can get him in there, it's great. Or for some reason, he can just get himself into melee range. It's great because there's less stuns. You've got to remember now in this game, there's less stuns. There's no Cassidy flashbang that's just going to shut you down. There's no Mei who's going to freeze you. So you can just swing. And it is tons of damage. But there's still a lot out there that can deal with you and is more effective at dealing with your team. And in those moment-to-moment gameplay sections, in between you being point blank and the enemy team swinging like crazy, you feel really weak. So he needs help. Blizzard have got to do something to him. Okay, Ashe. So Ashe is a weird one. So she has no changes in the alpha apart from Bob. And it was a nerf to Bob. It was basically Bob can be affected by, I think it might have been something to do with Sombra's hack. So I guess she's okay. The problem with Ashe, there's better picks. There's Soju. If you can aim with Ashe, you just play Soju because, like, you do more damage, right? Spam away primary fire, you get your ult up, your railgun somewhat, your alternate fire, railgun. It's just better. Dynamite's okay, I guess, for Ashe. Bob's okay as well. Yeah, or you just play Soldier basically, or maybe Cassidy. Although Cassidy, I don't know about Cassidy. Anyway, we'll get onto him. So I think she's okay. Roadhog. So none of the tanks apart from Reinhardt and Winston will be below A+ tier. And I think I'm just going to leave Roadhog in A+. Now, Hog, you can still play him how you play him in Overwatch 1. So you can still just straight up be like, you know what, I'm just going to walk, I'm going to go flanking. There's no front line for our team, but I don't care. I'm on the flanks. I'm going to get hooks. I'm going to get kills. You can still do that. You're very tanky. Roadhog is super tanky. So you don't have armor, obviously. And remember, armor works differently in Overwatch 2 now because it's 30% damage reduction for all damage. It isn't that crazy calculation it was before, which even I didn't understand. But Roadhog doesn't have armor, but he's got loads of health. He can heal himself, and his hook is still pretty good, obviously. And his damage is great at close range, and also at that sort of like 5-meter range with his alternate fire. Yeah, a Hog on you. I mean, and also a kill is so much more powerful in 5v5. So if Hog's flanking and he kills someone, suddenly it's a 4v5. It's easier to win. So yeah, he's not a traditional tank in the sense of it, but well, all the tanks are just overpowered DPS. That's all they are. DPS with slightly less damage, but way more survivability. So over a match, they do tons of damage. So I'm going to leave him at A+ Hog. Still, he's okay. Sigma. So Sigma's the other one, right? Sigma could be A, or S tier even, or he could be A. And this, let's put him here for now. And the reason, I mean, he could just be there. Like, honestly, so Sigma does everything, and Sigma's always been good. Ever since Sigma has been in the game, he's been involved in metas one way or another. He was integral to double barrier, which of course cannot be a thing in Overwatch 2. But think of Overwatch 2, think of Sigma. So he can do damage while he's shielding. So he can throw his barrier out, throw damage. He can still be the front line, and he can still protect some of his back line or maybe the flanks or whatever with his barrier. He's got Suck as well, so he can delete a lot of abilities from the game, which is really good. And his ultimate is really good. So Sigma, you get a lot of value when you play Sigma. And I wouldn't like if I was playing Overwatch 2 right now, I had Erisa as my tank, I'm happy. Sigma, I'm happy. Diva, I'm happy. Doomfist, I'm happy as well. Although I wouldn't say S tier happy, I'd say A+ tier. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll put Sigma in S tier. I might come back to Sigma. I'll probably forget about it, but I might come back to Sigma. Okay, Soldier 76. Hello. Now I'm biased as hell here, and I want to put him in S tier. But also, so the interesting thing with, we're going to put these pair together. The interesting thing with these two heroes is there's a balance, right? And Soju is a much higher skill ceiling than Soldier because she can kill an entire enemy team dead quick. She can just kill two people in a fight really fast with two really accurate railgun shots. Soldier can't really do that, but Soldier gives you consistent pressure. So when I look at myself, you know, I'm 35 years old, I'm getting on a bit, my reactions are getting a bit like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Soldier, I think, over if like I took an imaginary sample of 100 games of Soldier and 100 games of Soju, I think I would get more value out of the Soldier because it's more consistent. Tac Visor is incredibly powerful. You will win so many fights with Tac Visor. So you've got Sprint. You can flank better with Sprint. You can obviously run away from fights. You can run towards fights, do whatever. You can self-heal, which is obviously very strong in this world of I'm on the flank, I'm on my own, my healers can't see me. I like to use Soldier to pop out. Like New York's very good for this. I'd be popping out, just firing from the flanks, running back. Might get a kill, might not. Fire a cheeky Helix rocket in. Maybe I'll get the kill, run away. But Tac Visor is incredibly powerful. Then when I look at Soju, I've had more fun playing Soju because she's more maneuverable. But I've also popped my ultimate quite a few times and got no value. Or I've missed a bunch of railgun shots in a fight and kind of looked stupid and lost. So Soldier, in that way, is S tier because he's more... You get more value from him. But in other ways, he's A+ tier because if Soju's on fire, she's S tier. So these pair are very... They're almost interchangeable depending on if you land railgun shots. I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Soldier, I kind of want to put him in S tier, you know. But is he better than Genji or Tracer? I think he's about as good. You know what? I'm going to put him in S tier. Right, Sombra. Oh my god. Sombra is very annoying. Very, very annoying. But I'm not sure. Okay, so Sombra does more damage now. A machine pistol does a lot more damage. So if Sombra goes on a Zen, the Zen is dead. A hack has got loads of different components to it. So when she hacks a target, you can see it through the wall. Now, it only interrupts the target for a second, so it's not like you're locked out of your ability usage. So if she sees a Reinhardt going for an Earth Shatter and she tries to hack him and interrupt him, it doesn't actually go off in time. So then he just Earth Shatters anyway. And this is a problem with Sombra. And a lot of abilities she could stop in the past, she can't stop now with this new hack. However, new hack is super frustrating because she can hack you while she's in Viz. So when she uses hack, apologies, I'm going to cough. When she uses hack, she comes out of Invis for for a second when she does it, and then she instantly goes back into Invis. So it doesn't break Invis. This means she's very annoying. So if she's running around your back line, hacking your supports over and over again, it's really annoying. And then comes out of stealth and starts doing a considerable amount of damage to you. She can destroy you. An EMP just does damage now. So it's not as powerful it was in the past where it just hacked everyone. And then you just basically waited to be killed. Now it just does damage to you. I think it does 40% of your current health. I'm going to leave her at A+ though. I am tempted to put her into OK because I think there's other heroes that just get way more value over a fight than her, but I've been destroyed by Sombras. Now again, these were like top tier Sombras, but I'm gonna leave her at A+. I think she's okay. Symmetra, I think Symmetra's okay. I mean, she's got no changes, Symmetra, so she's just Symmetra. There may be like little timing changes on like her turrets and stuff, but it's nothing massive. I really don't have much to say about Symmetra. I mean, you could say that maybe on like push, Symmetra isn't as good as she was in 2CP because obviously it's like a payload style map, right? So you're moving an objective's moving around the map. It's not just a stationary point. But She's okay. I mean, I guess she's weaker than live, right? Well, than Overwatch 1, because there's less barriers for her to charge up her beam on. She's okay. I wouldn't say she's a bit weak, because she's still strong in certain scenarios. And, like, I can remember a game on Lijiang where she was still really strong. So, like, control map, she's going to obviously still be good if she gets onto the point and sets up. So, yeah, she's okay. She's okay. Torb. I kind of want to say Torb's just okay as well. And for exactly the same reasons as Symmetra. That's my get out there with Torb. Although Torb is still pretty good. He's like a mini Reaper, isn't he, Torb, when he gets close to a tank. So he's still okay. He's pretty good. Anyway, next up is Tracer. She's A tier. Now, S tier, sorry. The reason why, extreme flankability, movement speed increase, damage is just ridiculous because it's Tracer. Provided you know where the health packs are on maps, you can abuse them to take out the back lines. If Tracer's on the enemy team, you can't play Zen. If Tracer, the Tracer will be killing your supports in this game. That's what you do. Okay, you might kill DPS or tanks if you see the opportunity, but you basically go into the back line, kill the back line, because there's nothing to stop you. There's no Cassidy flashbang anymore. So it's a grenade and it can still kill you, but it's not that, oh God, I'm instantly dead kind of thing. Whereas flashbang was. So, and pulse bomb. So pulse bomb is one of the only rapidly charging ultimates left in the game. A lot of the other ults have seen considerable nerfs to their charge time. And with Tracer focusing less on spamming damage into tanks, the tank passive, which gives them less ultimate charge when you attack them, so gives you less ultimate charge, when you attack a tank. If you're focusing not really on tanks as Tracer, then you kind of don't really care about that anyway. So, yeah, but it's basically because less crowd control. That's what makes Tracer way better. And I guess we're just going to get Genji and throw him up there as well for exactly the same reasons. Genji is incredibly powerful. When Genji whips his blade out, all you've got is Zen Transcendence to try and help you, right? Or, like, maybe you grab him, or you, like, kill him with sustained fire or something, or you put him to sleep, or Roadhog hooks him or something. But he can just do work on you with blade. Like, it almost felt like old Overwatch, where, it was like moment to moment, or I guess fight to fight, waiting for a nano-bladed Genji. It's like, uh-oh, there's a nano-blade coming through, we're all dead. But then as Overwatch evolved, there was ways of dealing with that. Genji dropped out of the meta. Double barriers were never great to Genji. But now, less flashes, less stuns. Genji can just tear the hell out of the backline. He's really strong, really, really strong. And maybe this is good for the game, right? That these two are so far up there, because they are really skill-based DPS. And so is Soju. Like in another world, I could literally put Soju there and put Soldier there, or keep them up there. Like there's loads of... They're very interchangeable. Okay, Widow. Oh, you know what, Widow? I don't know about Widow. So, a bit weak. Is that even fair? Because Widow is an extreme version of Soju. Because if Widow lands shots, then suddenly she's like S tier, she's killed everyone. What I'm trying to think, though, is there's less barriers, so Widow's got more players to shoot at. Or it's easier to shoot at players. But she's also got Doomfist, who is a tank now, who will chase her down. Wrecking Ball, who will mess her up. No, I can't say she's a bit weak. I think she's okay, Widow. Widow also got buffed. She's got more health now. I think she's got 200 HP. He's okay. Winston, yeah, he needs a lot of help. A ton of help, Winston does. Because... So... Oh, this really gruels me, this does. Because Winston and Reinhardt, they're my favourite tanks. But they are definitely the weakest tanks off the alpha. So, Wrecking Ball and Doomfist are better than Winston. That's it. That is literally the end of the argument. They're better in every single way. They're more mobile. They do more damage. They've got more options. Because Winston just jumps in. And then Winston's like, well, I've got to wait now for my jump to come back off cooldown so I can run away. I hope I don't die. Winston's got a new ability which lets him fire a sort of 25-meter range electric bolt. Now, this is designed to kill people as they run away. I think it does 50 damage, so it doesn't do a lot of damage. But if someone's super low HP, you can try and zap them. The problem is, Winston's primary fire obviously has got no aim. You're just close to someone, you're zapping them. It's basically like a melee attack, but packaged in a nice little electrical effect. But then suddenly, if you want to shoot someone as they're running away, you then need to aim at them. So you go from requiring no aim to oh my God, I've got to aim. But to do that, you have to then stop firing primary, charge up secondary, aim at them, and try and get them. And it's literally your whole focus is doing that. And if you miss, then, well, you look silly because you really have to hit them bang on with it. There could be an argument that this could benefit from like a small lock-on effect, really, at range possibly. But yeah, Winston's problem is he's just not as good as Ball, and he's not as good as Doomfist. They do his job better, and I don't know. But he could be one that we see, you know, maybe some crazy meta turns up where Winston becomes really good, because his barrier's been buffed as well, because I think his barrier's got 800 HP now. So, yeah, but I think he's just weak. He just needs help. Right, next up is Ball, and Ball's going straight into S tier. So if you get a Ball on your team as a tank, you're loving it now, because that gameplay style, so the Ball player back in Overwatch 1, the Doomfist player back in Overwatch 1, that play style is so good in Overwatch 2. So if your Ball is off killing their back line or doing something mental because he's Ball, you're loving this. You're like, well, this is great. It's messing the enemy team up, creates loads of space, because that's the other thing with tanks in Overwatch. Creating space has always been a big part of it. Ball actually creates a ton of space, whereas the new Reinhardt now, it's like he just is in the middle of the space. Everybody's shooting at him, whereas Ball is, who knows where he is. And then if we go back to that idea of looking for opportunities to bully other tanks, when you look at 1v1 matchups, a Ball versus a Ball, they're both doing radically different things. They're not like chasing each other down. A Reinhardt versus a Reinhardt is just against each other. And that's it. It's kind of like black and white in that regard. Whereas Ball, we don't know where he is. Doomfist is the same. He could be anywhere doing whatever he's doing. I mean, basically he's still got the same play style as he's got in Overwatch 1 Doomfist, which is the masterstroke of Doomfist's rework. So yeah, Ball is pretty damn good. I think anyone who can take a 1v1, is a really strong hero in Overwatch 2. It's just so much emphasis on these like 1v1 moments. These, you know, you win that duel, then your team has got such a massive advantage, which was the case in Overwatch, right? But honestly, I'm not joking, guys. Ball is so good. Okay, Batiste. Now, BAP. You know what? I'm going to put BAP in A+. The only reason for this is you know when he's vulnerable. So if he's used Immortality Field, thrown out his lamp, and it's been destroyed, you know you can kill him. Moira, if she's used Fade, you know that within like 4 or 5 seconds she's going to do it again. So, and she's also going to damage you and heal herself and all kinds of madness. So, yeah, basically for that reason. And also, I'd say Moira's ultimate is probably maybe a little. Well, I can't really say it's better than Window, can I? Window in an organized team is really strong. Even it's really strong if Batiste just uses it himself. But Moira Coalescence, I don't know. He could be S tier, but I'm going to leave him at A tier at the moment. He's still pretty good there. Remember, it's this whole mantra of if you are a support that can do something to protect yourself, then you are probably going to be meta in Overwatch 2. Right? That's literally it. Zarya, oh my god, now I'm loving this. I am absolutely, she was my first golden weapon. I absolutely love this hero. So the change they've made to her, not going into detail on like the charge rates of a weapon and the damage output and stuff, but the main change is she's now got 2 particle barriers. So she can either put it on herself twice, or put it on an ally twice, or use it on herself and use it on an ally at the same time. And as soon as she uses one, the cooldown begins. So you're not waiting for the bubble to expire like you are on Overwatch and then the cooldown begins. No, so you actually can roll through your bubbles pretty quick. Now, in a world of souped up tanks being souped up DPS on the front line, Zarya is not great for flanking because she kind of wants to be with the team. But in a brawl kind of comp, Zarya works really well. Like I said to you guys at the top of the video, remember, Zarya, Soju, Reaper, Moira, Lucio was a meta at the pro level in their scrims for a while and may even still be meta, simply because it was a brawl style, get in their face, rush down style comp. Zarya is really good in that because she wants to be in a brawl. She wants to be in there. She's getting loads of charge. She's doing loads of damage. So she's very good. And obviously, Graviton is super powerful. But you're probably only going to get one around now because of the reduction in charge rate. It is by far the slowest charging ultimate in the game. But yeah, she's really, really strong, super strong. And again, like we talk about counters, she counters most tanks as well. It's annoying for Erisa to deal with a Zarya, especially if Zarya's got both for double bubbles, because she can just drill you, bubble. You know, it's like, she's obviously really good against D.Va. D.Va is super strong as well. She's always been pretty good against Reinhardt. She's just good. She's good against Hog. You know, it isn't like you're instantly going to lose. So she's a really strong pick right now. Super good. Going from super good to needs help, oh my God, is Zen. Now, Zen needs an ungodly amount of support to keep alive in this game. Now, he is super fun to play. He always is, Zen. Like that ranged artillery. I'm doing damage from the back. I've got my heal and I've got my Discord. And Discord's really good. This is the other element with him. Discord is super good for killing the enemy tanks. If you Discord in the tank and it's a 1v1, it's a mirror matchup and you've got the enemy, you've got a Discorded Erisa and your Erisa's against that Erisa and it's just in a closed vacuum, let's say, your Erisa's always going to win that fight. The problem with Zen is he's very slow and he has no survivability at all. Now, he's always been this way, but he's had an off tank in Overwatch 1 to help him. A D.Va or something that could peel for him. If you get a Zen on your team, he is now so much like a glass cannon. It is unbelievable. Now, he's always been like this, but even more so now. If you're the other support, you need to keep your eye on Zen because if he gets taken on in a 1v1, unless he lands his shots and gets a kill, he's going to be dead. And that's a massive problem. And I know I keep going on about this in this video, but flanking in Overwatch 2 is so powerful. Zen will be killed. Transcendence is a good ability, and it is good against dealing with Genji, for example, and maybe even Tac Visor it's okay against, but he needs help. He needs help. Anyway, somebody who doesn't need help is Bastion. He's not S tier. I can't say he's S tier because there are ways. Okay, right. Bastion is when Bastion is in his new offensive assault mode. So it's when he gets his tank tracks out and he's got the minigun and he's moving around. He will kill you. Do not fight Bastion when he is doing that. He will kill you, right? But when he's not doing that, kill him. When players realize this, Bastion will be won't seem as powerful as he is. Now, again, I'm going to reference a video that I may have uploaded yet or not. I don't know because I don't know the order I'm going to release these videos in. But I am killing everybody with Bastion, even Overwatch League professionals, and I'm killing everyone. Normally, that means things might be a bit broken if some absolute dribbler like me can do something like that. But it's only ever in the assault mode. It's never really in the recon mode because you don't really do any damage. And his grenade is okay for bouncing it around. His ultimate is really good. Probably will get nerfed because it's way too fast to fire. You can just kill anybody who doesn't have movement ability with it, really. And that's not a tank. So Anna, you can just drop 3 artillery strikes on her and she's dead. She literally cannot escape. It's like Doomfist, old ultimate, where you just knew you were dead as Anna. So you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll die. Yeah. But he does a lot of damage. And if you've got a mercy pocket, oh my God, it's like the new pharmacy. Just forget Pharah, just play Bastion. It's so disgusting. yeah. Bastion, I like Bastion. I think he's good. I think his rework's really, it's fun. It makes him fun. He's not a throw pick anymore. Oh, no. And he also doesn't require a ton of resources either. It's not like we've got a Bastion in Overwatch 1, so we best pocket him or build our entire team around him as we've got no way of winning. This is just like, nah, just let him do his own thing. It's fine. Also, if the enemy have got a Reinhardt, guess what Bastion does to Reinhardt barriers? Oh, Brig. Oh, my God. You know what? Brig. Oh, Brig could be S tier. Ooh. I am going to put Brig in S tier because YOLO. So Brig doesn't stun you anymore, all right? But she is the tanky support, which I think is what she should always have been back when Blizzard introduced her. But she obviously became a stun bot because of, well, you know, she could stun through barriers and all of that stuff. It was crazy. This Brig is hard to kill. So if Tracer wants to take the Brig on, well, you better hope Brig's barrier is broke because you won't be killing her if she's got a barrier up because she'll bring a barrier up to absorb damage off you and then she'll melee you when you have to reload. She'll whip shot you away and whip shot's still really good. She's still got Inspire, so she's still healing all the time. She's throwing repair packs everywhere, so she is hard to kill. And this is like the sort of like the power level of these supports where if you can take a fight against the DPS, I'm not saying outright kill the DPS, but survive long enough for something else to come in and help you, then you are so powerful. Brig can do that. And also her ultimate rally is still really good. I'm going to leave her at S tier. You know, I'm going to leave her at S tier. I think Brig's pretty good. Cassidy. Okay, Cassidy. Right. So Cassidy's, I'm going to say he's okay. So he doesn't have flashbang anymore. So this completely gimps him in his old playstyle. He isn't like, oh God, they've got a Genji or Tracer. Somebody play Cassidy and just flash him. Because you can't do that anymore. Instead, you throw a grenade that's magnetic and it will lock onto targets and explode and do damage. It doesn't outright kill him. I think it does 120 damage, 115 damage, 100 damage, something like that. But if you're firing at them and you throw the grenade at them and then they try and run away and maybe you've hit them a few times, it will kill them. It's pretty good. Obviously, Tracer can use rewind to get rid of the grenade. Genji can deflect it and stuff like that. So there are ways it can be played around. Apart from that, though, an interesting change that he does have is his ultimate locks on quicker or does more damage earlier in the lock-on phase. This is really good. And I think this is underrated at the moment. Because I think he can take more damage as well when he pops it. So, you know, when he goes high noon and the tumbleweeds appear and then he glows and all that stuff, I think he can take more damage as well, or he becomes more damage resistant or something when he does it. He's okay. But the thing with him is, and it's kind of the theme of this video, I just think Soldier, Tracer, and Soju are just better than him. Basically, they're just outright better than Cassidy. But he can still work. Like I've had some great games with him. He can still work, but he isn't just that guy who looks after the back line, or he isn't that guy who can go forward and flash the tanks. He's still Cassidy. He still doesn't move very quick, even though obviously all DPS moves faster, which does help him, by the way, in Overwatch 2 because of the passive. He's okay. I think he's just going to remain like this. I don't think he's a priority for Blizzard to really look at, so that's fine. D.Va is absolutely S tier. D.Va is freaking amazing. So D.Va's tankier now, and Defense Matrix lasts a bit longer, but it makes a ton of difference. The Defense Matrix is a great ability, and being able to just eat up damage while you're flying towards the enemy team, just killing them at point-blank range, ultra mobility, just... I don't think there's much more I can say about D.Va. She's really, really good. Really, really good. I think Diva's super good. And like you can see, the tanks, look at where they're populating. They're at S tier and A tier, with the exception of these two poor guys. Doomfist is a new tank. Now, this is probably one you guys have been waiting for throughout the video. And Doom... Ooh, Doom is like... Oof, I don't know about Doom. So... Is he better than Ball? I'm not sure he is. So Doom disrupts now. Instead of coming in and instantly killing you like he does on live in Overwatch 1, Doom can still do his combos, but he has to rely on his primary fire now, and they all have to hit the target. But when he punches, because it doesn't do much damage, he has to think about punching back into his team, which can still secure the kill. So in a way, it's still as good as being killed by Fist. But it means that Doomfist now is sort of less solo reliant, where I think Ball has still got that good burst where he can slam you, come out of his mech, and then just shoot the crap out of you and you die. Or he can keep rolling through you and he's really hard to stop because there's less stun, so he can just do what he likes. And again, that's why Doomfist is good, right? He's not getting stunned, really. And tanks are resistant to knockback effects as well. It could easily be S tier, to be honest, Doomfist. But I'm going to leave him at A tier just because I think what's going to happen is a lot of the DPS players who play Doomfist, because no tank player will be a Doomfist main, right? It's just going to be the way of it. But the DPS Doomfist mains will try to play him like they do in Overwatch and will get killed and get really frustrated because you have to escape with Doom. Your priority is going in, doing damage, sure, but you have to have an ability to get out. You can't just go in and punch bot because you will die. You need to go in, do a bit, get out. Go in, do a bit, get out. But you can keep doing this over and over again, and it makes him super involving to play. When people realize that, I think he'll go to S tier. But at the moment, I'm going to say he's A+. He's okay. Echo, she's just a better Pharah, and she is Echo. So she can also become another tank, which is really powerful, because tanks are the strongest heroes in the game. Echo's great. Anna, okay, so Anna's the final hero, and she can't go into A+, as much as I'd like her. Okay. Okay, let me think about my reasoning here. So Anna, my favorite support to play. I played the most of her in the alpha. Did I feel vulnerable? Yeah, I did. For some reason, they decided to put the sleep on a 15-second cooldown, which does make you feel very vulnerable. In the past, maybe if you were getting dove upon by, or even just a Doomfist was trying to kill you, you could sleep him and then shout down the microphone, guys, I've got Doomfist, come and kill him. Now in Overwatch 2, you can sleep him and then ping his body and go, ha, and everyone will come and kill him. But it's only every 15 seconds. If you miss, well, it's not going to be good times for you. You can still nade yourself, so you still kind of got that option. She's sort of like Batiste, but is Batiste better? I don't know. Maybe I should drop him down to okay. Because Ana... So if... Oh, this is really... So if Ana isn't getting... If the enemy team are not flanking, right, and are not focusing your backline, Ana is great. She just feels as good as she does on live, and that's great, and you can do what you like. But the moment they go, you know what, we're going to kill the Ana, that's when you're like, oh, God, I wish I was Moira. Oh, God, I wish I was even Lucio. Or, oh, God, let's maybe keep this to main healers. But Batiste, I really wish I was him because I can still do healing and I can still try and fight these guys away. Ana, I noticed a lot of times where I was like, maybe this is just my playstyle problem, where I was always going for offensive grenades a lot of the time and my grenade would be on cooldown. And players would see me obviously throw my grenade and think, okay, I'm going to take the Ana. And then I'm trying to get an emergency sleep and I miss. And then I've had it. You know, I'm basically dead. So I don't know about Ana. She's okay, but it's a brave new world of ultra mobile, ultra fast Overwatch, and Ana doesn't have any movement ability, and her self-care abilities, should we call them, are maybe, well, they're nowhere near as good as Moira. So Moira's phase just on cooldown all the time and she can heal herself. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Now, actually, before we end this, what I'm going to do is let me just bring up my tier list from the start of this video and let's see how they compare and if there are any changes. Okay, let's have a look at this. So I am going to I tell you what I will do is, let's have a look. Yeah, okay, so I've saved it. It's tier list intro. So I'm going to bring it in. Here we go. Okay, so let's bring it down here. What have we got? Can we sort of make that out? We can. What am I doing? Okay, so S tier. It looks like we've got an extra hero in S tier. Who have we put in S tier? Brig, look at this. So I've put Brig as okay there on my first run through. Now I'm thinking she's S tier. So there's a big change there. Tanks, well, A+. There's certainly more heroes here. So Roadhog, yeah, he's there. Soju, yeah. Bastion is in this tier and he wasn't before. Bastion and Echo, look, because they were put in the okay tier. Yeah, I was totally wrong. Start of the video, I was totally wrong. They are definitely A+. Take it from me. Okay. I guess this is just Bastion. We've moved Bastion and Echo from the okay tier to the tier above. Yeah. Bit weak. Interesting, because Ashe is down there. I don't agree with my past self. I think Ashe is okay. Widow as well, I don't agree. Symmetra, I think she's okay at what she does. Zen, it's interesting that I've actually downgraded Zen. So what I've done is I've swapped Pharah and Zen over. That's interesting, guys. To look, oh, God, nearly dropped my drink. That's interesting to look at that. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this bit of a different take on a tier list. But what I'm hoping this video has done is kind of given us like... I can't say concise because it's probably like an hour-long video, but giving us like an overview of all the heroes and sort of like a brief introduction to the way that they fit into the current meta at the moment. And this will be the case when the beta is live. Obviously, it's live now. Well, it might not be live, actually. It depends on when Blizzard let us upload these videos. But it's a different Overwatch, very different Overwatch world. Is it a better Overwatch? Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of thinking it probably is, but it's still Overwatch. All right, guys. It's basically Overwatch, but it plays like, well, one tank is disconnected from each team. And the tank left is just absolutely on steroids. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. If you want to follow me on everything, it's at Stylosa. It's at Stylosa UL on TikTok. And everything else is just at Stylosa on Twitter and Instagram and such. And yeah, do leave a comment below. Let me know what you've been thinking about all of the content on the channel so far. It is great to be back making content again. And yeah, I'm going to leave the video at that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.